Hello again. Let us discuss the question number 2.8 of the chapter 2, Units and Measurements. The first part of the question is, you are given a thread and a meter scale. How will you estimate the diameter of the thread? Let us say this is a long thread of a particular length, capital L, having a diameter of small d. I want to measure the diameter d. So what will I do? I will either use a meter scale or whatever the equipment I have. For example, if I have this pen, then on this thick pen I will wound this whole thread in a closely packed end turns. For example, if it forms this structure, it should be closely packed. So if you will closely pack, let us say this is the total distance, capital L, that is covered by the rod of the length L. Okay, that is on which the number of turns are wounded. If you will practically see, the dimension D or the diameter of the wire D is because of this one number of turn. For example, if I can measure this particular turn, it will be equivalent to diameter of the wire. So let us say there are n number of turns to wound this particular length of pen. Clear? So can I say that length of pen which is covered by number of turns of threads, then I can say that total length can be given as number of turns multiply by the diameter of the wire or the thread, whatever it is given in the question. So from that, if I want to determine the diameter of the wire, it can be written as total length that is measured divided by number of turns. This is how I will solve this problem. Let us talk about the part B. A screw gauge has a pitch of 1.0 mm and 200 divisions on the circular scale. Do you think it is possible to increase the accuracy of the screw gauge arbitrarily by increasing the number of divisions on the circular scale? So here, for the least count of any instrument, it is given by pitch divided by number of divisions on sliding scale. Here the pitch is given by 1 mm, that is 0.1 centimeter, divided by 200, that is equivalent to 0.0005 centimeter. Clear? So this is such a small value. If you will see a circular scale, then here in this particular case, this one dimension of the circular scale for a screw gauge will be equivalent to that of 0.0005 centimeter. But if I arbitrarily increase the number of division, for example I am taking 1000 divisions, in that case the theoretical value of least count will decrease. For example, the least count will become 0.1 centimeter divided by 1000. Hence the resulting value is 0.000, 3 zeros because of this and 40 because of 0.1. So this is again more accurate with respect to this, or more precise than this instrument. But if you will see on the circular scale, on the same circular scale, the number of divisions has increased. So now it will be difficult for an ordinary human eye to read these measurements. So theoretically yes, the precision or accuracy of an instrument will increase, but further you can write, in practical, human eye cannot see this much small dimension, and hence it will create human errors. I hope you will understand that because of small dimensions, after a certain limit of resolution, human eye cannot see properly. So because of that, there is a certain limitations which are followed by the instruments. The part C of the question tells us that the mean diameter of a thin brass rod is to be measured by vernier calipers. Why is a set of 100 measurements of diameter expected to yield a more reliable estimate than a set of 5 measurements only? What this question is trying to ask you is, if you are measuring any dimension with help of some instrument, then if you will take 100 measurements of the same thing, for example, if you are measuring this dimension of this pen and you are creating a data for 100 measurements, and on one side you are only measuring for 5 times, then which will give you more reliable data and why? Of course, the 100 measurements will give you more reliable data. Why? Because in this both the instruments we consider that human error will be 0, and we consider there will be only possible cause of random errors. And in random errors, the probability of getting positive and negative errors are equal. So the more and more measurements you will consider, the more and more positive and negative errors will cancel each other and more accurate data you will get. For example, if we are taking 5 such measurements, such as for this pen the dimensions are 10, 10.20, let us say 10.10, 10.50, 10.80, 1 2 3 4, and let us say 10.15. If the true value of this pen is 10.25 centimeter, then you will see here that some of the data is having negative error, that is, instead of 25 they are having value less than 25, that is 0.10, 0.20 and 0.15. The three errors here are negative error, while 0.50 and 0.80 are having positive errors, that is the measured dimension is greater than the actual dimension. Okay, so this is giving me that 3 random errors got negative and 2 random errors get positive value. Now consider if you are taking 100 such dimensions, then the effect and the probability of cancelling the effect of positive and negative error will get reduced, and the more and more accurate and reliable answer you will get. Okay, so for answer you can only write that in random errors the probability of getting positive and negative errors are equal, hence increasing the number of measurements will reduce probability of both the errors, and because of the reduction in probability of errors, the accuracy will be more reliable and we can rely on our measurements.